Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. From inside the 20, chance for great field position. Breaks a tackle, and he's got room. And he'll be brought down after a solid effort on that return. Opening snap of this drive comes from the 38-yard line. Looking to throw on first down. He's going to take a shot. He's got it inside the 30. And the tackle is made, but not before that completion gets them 30-plus. Big play offense, and it has them threatening now. First and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw, it's Sayin. Here's a heat. Finds his big tight end. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. The RPO, it's complete. Now the connection takes it to the 11. It's first down from the 11. Wants to go up top on first down. He's got it on the run. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one. Motion from the wide receiver. He wants to throw it again. And that pass will be jarred loose on second down. That brings up third down.
Well, I love the coverage on defense. In the red zone, everyone's got their eyes on the quarterback, and they're flying to the football, and you saw that there on the incompletion.
Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big third down in the red zone. From the gun, wants to pass. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down.
After that incompletion, it's now 4th and short in the red zone. Decision time if you're the head coach. You just take the field goal, or do you keep your offense on the field looking to get 6?
They've already converted a fourth down here in the first quarter, and they'll try it again. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State. Extra point here will tie the game. They score for the big fella here. Why are tight ends so effective in the red zone?
Well, these aren't the guys that are going to burn by you and go for 70 most of the time. But when you can use their big-bodied frames, threaten them to run the football and be a blocker in the running game, and now you slip them in the secondary, make that big play.
He'll bring it out. It's Martin. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. On the ground, it's Singleton. He'll be stopped just short of the 20 at the 19. Give him 1.
And these RPOs always put the defense in a bind. But listen, you give up the run, they get a short little gain, no harm, no foul.
And he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by the big defensive tackle.
You want to end a play quickly, get in the backfield that fast, get to the guy, and get him on the ground. Nice job penetrating right from the snap, getting off the ball so quick, penetrating the backfield and making something happen.
All kinds of room to throw that one in there. The Nittany Lions come to the line in the hurry-up.
All right, defense, you got to turn the page. Just gave up an explosive play through the air, but here comes the offense going quickly. You got to get lined up now and get ready for another one.
Knew where he wanted to go with it, but couldn't find his target. It's incomplete. So now it's second and long. They'll move the tight end. The give to the tailback. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
I love when defensive backs come up, and they are physical, and they stick their face in the fan, and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
Got him downfield. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about. That penalty cost them a third down conversion, and now they'll have to try it from a little farther away. Line is set on third down. Looking for a man. It's Allen. Fires to the middle. Pulls it in. And they'll make the stop, and we are headed to the end of the first period. Offense changing the play. On fourth down, they're taking to the air. He finds a dead spot in the middle. And they'll pick up the first down and mark it at the 47. They've got a first down here to open the period. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Leaves it with the back. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
Man, it's easy to call plays when you're getting 5 or 6 yards of pop on the ground. Like, why would I get complicated? Why would I get complex? Like, up front right now, this group just win, fall forward, get that good gain, stay ahead of the sticks, don't have to get in bad situations. This defense better respond, or else I'll do that all the way down the field.
Well, this is a quarterback who has outstanding running ability, and he's hoping the defense is going to give him an opportunity to tuck this football and get upfield, but there was nothing there. You saw him that time. Hold on to it, hold, hoping someone on defense was going to get out of position, but nobody did. Really nice job by the defense that time. Playing assignment football against the option, and everybody staying home.
The Nittany Lions kept this drive moving on the ground, now back to work. Just when they're looking run, now up top. Caught in the backfield, it's Campbell. You want to talk about running behind your pads as he plows his way to the 35. The Nittany Lions with a second and short to keep this drive moving. Running back searching for a hole. And the defense snows him under after a very short gain. Third and short, coming from the 34. You wonder if this is 4-down territory. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a third down stop.
That's a really good stop by the defense, Jesse. They need a few more. You've given up a bunch of yards on this drive and a bunch of plays, but all that matters is keeping them off the score.
Yeah, it's that bend, don't break mentality you're seeing right now, and this is the point where this defense has just got to lock in.
Going for the marker on the ground. Will not get there. A fourth down stop.
Low man wins. Defense that time on fourth down was expecting run, and you saw at the point of attack how they just dominated. There was nowhere for that guy to go. Defense wins the down. They give it back up now to their offense.
Throws to the wideout. Right in the middle, it's Smith. A huge play, and they get it all the way to the 45-yard line.
Well, really nice catch there getting the first down. This dude at wide receiver, man, he is a playmaker. You think about Ohio State and the recent run they've had on first-round picks at the position. Michael Thomas, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave. This guy keeps making plays like that. He's got an opportunity to go in the first round.
The offense getting set for a first down from the 45. Quickly out to the tight end. They get him down after he makes the catch. Quick tempo, no huddle offense. Second down, clock's running. To the air, it's Sayin. And they're not on the same page there.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
In the gun and looking to throw on third down. Grabbed in the middle, it's Smith. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot him at the 24-yard line. Clock stops momentarily for the first down. They'll hurry to the line. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. They'll go to work in the air on second down. Quick completion on the out. Didn't pick up a lot there, moving it forward just a few. They're at their fastest tempo trying to get off this third down play. Tight end finds a soft spot. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short.
I mean, good news here, they get the completion. Bad news, though, not enough to pick up the first down. The target there, he's got to do a better job understanding where the first down marker is, make sure he gets the right depth on his route. Now, all of a sudden, head coach has a...
Converts on fourth down, still going. They get him stopped at the 5-yard line, but it will be first and goal from there. Out of the gun, looking to throw. Touchdown, Buckeye! The finisher, the exclamation point on that drive.
And the offense breaks the tie, takes the lead, gains some momentum. How big is this, Palmer, now? Going into the half with the lead, with the momentum.
Well, they break the tie, but they also break their confidence a little bit now. The opponent now has to go into the locker room, probably down, and they're wondering, what adjustments do we have to make? What do we have to fix? Because we've got our work cut out for us in this game.
That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. Opening play of this drive comes from the 12-yard line. Motion from the back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Quarterback may change this route. Back to throw. It's Aller. He's going to let one fly down the middle. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at third down.
Well, they're trying to attack the middle of the field. That time the ball a little too high for his wide receiver, and it falls incomplete.
On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Wide open downfield. Oh, he's getting ahead of steam. He's at the 20. Touchdown, Penn State. Made the grab and took it on in for the score.
Man, that is picture-perfect execution by this offense. That is how you close a half. Chewing up some time, getting in the end zone, a chance to tie this up and feel really good about yourself going into halftime.
And the kick is good, but there's a penalty flag, and I think it's going to be roughing the kicker. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. So they got the touchdown now, going to put it in the hands of their defense to finish off this half. And as the ball makes its way into the end zone, it'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. To the air on first down. He's going up top. Snags it on the right. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Looking to throw on first down. A strike downfield. Good, solid pickup there now. They can start to smell it with a first down at the 31. The offense will stop the clock and use one of its timeouts. Waning seconds of the first half, and they'll try to tack on a 3 before they head to the locker room. And this field goal attempt will be a 48-yarder and not straight on from the left side. And that is no good. And here in the third quarter, it is still a tie ball game. And that'll do it. Here in the second quarter, halftime has arrived, and we head to the studio. Go ahead and roll the dice to start this second half. They're lined up for an onside kick. Not much drive for anxiety. They're waiting to see if the hands team can corral the onside kick, and they do.
decision the head coach is going to look back on and wish he had done the other thing and just kick it way down the field. You've got a tie game. We've got so much football left to play here in the second half. Instead, because you don't get the onside kick, your opponent is now set up in real...
Always a welcome play from the defense as they get a sack at the 47.
And the strong safety is the one that's actually able to get the sack on this play. They lowered him in the box, probably anticipating run to the strong side of the field. But when the strong safety saw the ball in quarterback's hand, he just said, I'm going to go do this myself.
He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And you're seeing on both sides really hard to run the football in this one. You've got to give both of these defenses tons of credit. They are so physical up front. These defensive lines can take the game over, and right now, it's tough sledding on the ground.
Inside the 20-yard line, pushed out at the 18, and they're in business. The Nittany Lions want to pick up the tempo. Just going to keep it after the snap. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here. And the Nittany Lions are threatening on first and goal. Wants to throw. It's Allard. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
They'll move the wide receiver. The run up the middle, looking for the score. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. And they've been able to get within 2 yards. Now will they try to throw it in for the score? Slams it ahead. Beck's going for the goal line. Touchdown, Nittany Lions! And with that, they've got the lead here in the second half.
I love the physicality of this offense. It's third and goal. I trust my offensive line to pave the way, give the ball to my running back, and know he's going to physically punch this thing into the end zone.
The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. Starts from their own 25-yard line. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Well, that's just a great play by the defender and great timing. It was the hit that forced that incompletion.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Back to throw, it's Sayin. Quickly complete. And they pick up just a few on that completion. They're going to keep this drive going. They'll have to make a play on third and long from the 26. From the gun, wants to pass. Going up top. Caught at the 25. Slippery slide. Find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State. And they did make the extra point, and we have a tie ball game here in the third.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, Dave. And listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Quickly to the flat, the wide receiver screen.
My old coach said to never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
The Nittany Lions can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Got it behind the line. It's Reynolds. Out across the 30, steps out of bounds at the 31-yard line as they try to put something together. It's 1st and 10 from the 31. Now on the move. And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front. The Nittany Lions racing to the line in a hurry-up. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Under fire. Snagged in the middle. It's Pena.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands. Get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Looking for a man. It's Allard. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. 1 for 2 on 4th down attempt so far, and we would get a 3rd attempt here. Catch in the middle. It's Pena. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the 1st down. The Nittany Lions are on the move. Wants to throw on 1st down. Got it in stride inside the 20. Touchdown, Penn State! He broke away from the defense and they couldn't catch him.
And man, is that perfect timing. You can tell quarterback drops back, he sees his guy, and he knows he's open, but watch the throw. Deep down the field, Palmer, right in the breadbasket. Nice play, nice pitch and catch.
He did a nice job of getting it up in the air early and allowing his guy to run under the football, locate it, and then make a tough grab. That is the definition of an explosive play.
That's why they call them the hands team. They're able to secure the onside kick. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Took the last drive in for a touchdown. They'll try to do it again on this one. They're going to open this drive with a pass. Hit hard as he released the ball on that 1st down pass, and it never had a chance.
This QB has been so comfortable all day long. Obviously having a ton of success. You've got to affect him. You've got to put some hits on him, those body blows, so you can make him wear out and physically feel you. This is the first time really getting to him. This defense needed this bad.
Wide receiver going in motion. After the incompletion, they go back up top. He's got it. So close to that end zone. He can almost taste it, but it'll be 1st and goal for this offense.
This guy already has a touchdown. He almost had a 2nd right there. You saw how good he is after he has the ball in his hands. Great job by the quarterback. A, finding him. B, getting it to him quickly. And then his speed and his God-given ability does the rest. He's
into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Buckeyes. Follow the blocker. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Maurice, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
After that latest answer tied things up, just about set to kick it away again. Fielded in the end zone. It's Singleton. That is a decision he will likely regret. He brings it out of the end zone, and he's knocked down at the 10. They'll snap it from the 10 for the first play of this drive. To the air. It's Allard. Swings it out to the flat. Quick throw, but he's not going anywhere. The defense was all over it. The Nittany Lions have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Looking to fire. It falls incomplete, and that'll be the final play of the period. So we open the final period with a 3rd down play. On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. Makes the grab on the right. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30. This is the kind of performance, guys, that sort of etches your name in the lore of a rivalry.
And playing big in this big moment, on this big stage, it is so nice to have a playmaker like that you can highlight, that you can focus on, that you can trust in.
He was so excited.
He'll take a shot. And it's incomplete as he tried to thread that needle to the back corner of the end zone.
Well, this guy has had himself a day. Already over 100 yards receiving in the game, so no wonder the quarterback's looking his way, and no wonder the defense now has finally figured out we're trying to throw to him, so we got to cover him. We got to knock balls down and force incompletion.
Pick up a 5. It'll be 3rd down and 5. And the Nittany Lions want to crank the tempo. Dropping back, it's Aller. That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on 3rd down. So on 4th down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot. Never a doubt. And they've regained the lead.
Big-time kick right there, man. 4th quarter, clutch time. You needed to come through and take the lead, and now the pressure goes to the defense. You got to keep this lead. Got to get a stop or 2 more, and you can get the dub in this football.
Probably needed to pick up an extra block or 2, but as it is, he'll be stopped at the 28. Let's see if they can put together a drive starting from their own 28. Motion from the wideout. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. Caught over the middle. It's Tate. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line.
And, man, this quarterback has had a day. With that pass, he goes over 300 yards on the day. Really nice job executing, putting up some yards today. Pretty good day for the young man.
Looking downfield on 1st down. Fires to the middle. Oh, it's picked off. Oh, at the worst possible time. Just a short return, but that would have been icing on the cake. They've got it 1st down at the 42.
Well, the offense turns it over, and talking to their coaching staff before this game, they talked about how important it was to have good ball security and not give the opponent extra possessions. That time, poor decision by the quarterback, and the defense made them pay.
And I like the first thought process right here. Run the football. We want to run that clock with the lead. Thank you to the defense for forcing that turnover, setting us up. Now, if we can put a few 1st downs together, we're looking really good.
They'll run it. They want to take their time here. Ball down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense.
You got to have that defense you know you can go to in running situations. Your base defense where you say, okay, this is where I'm going to start, and I'm going to stop the run, stuff it up front. My guys play big up front. Then if I need to add some blitzes to it later on down the road, I can. But great job with the base defense making a play.
They got nothing on the last play at 2nd and 10. Looking for space. It's Singleton. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. It'll be 3rd and long. there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. They have the lead in a one-possession game, but they're thinking deliver the knockout blow, but this carries big-time risk on fourth down. Got away from trouble and got rid of it. Got a man. It's Pena. He's got enough for the first down, and that ought to do it. They ought to be able to run out the clock from here.
Wow, and that was just a bang-bang play. On that fourth down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a little extra mustard on it, and he shows you the arm talent on the throw.
So Penn State takes down Ohio State, a couple of blue bloods, cornerstone programs in college football, and you know both sides can't wait until they meet again. Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football. What a show both of these teams put on today. Couple of outstanding squads, hotly contested battle all the way to the very end.
Yeah, we came into this one expecting this to be a back-and-forth battle. We knew it was going to go down late into the fourth quarter. At the end of the day, the higher-ranked team, David, they were really able to lean on those playmakers and that leadership they've got in the locker room.
Yeah, and now I think even more so, you're starting to believe in them. They're battle-tested. This team they find a way to get things done. That's why they're ranked where they're at, and I expect this team to stay in contention for the college football playoff because they're proving week in and week out they're a really good squad.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football. pressure, expectation, and finding out what you're made of. All of those things come into play when you have a top 5 showdown at this point in the season. Hello and welcome everyone to a game that we've been eagerly awaiting, as we'll see the number 2 team in the country, the Penn State Nittany Lions, taking on the 3rd-ranked team in the land, the Ohio State Buckeyes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up.